Good morning from South Africa, folks. Once again, more farm attacks recently, including one last night. Apparently, a lady was shot through the mouth and through the back of the head and is in critical condition, best information I can find. Now, I want to send a message out to the farming community in South Africa. If you're looking for the world to take notice, you're going to have to shift the focus a bit. There's a lot of reporting that takes place on social media by folks who speak Afrikaans and other languages. The reality is the world listens to the news in English, all over the world. Even the Chinese are listening in English. If you want folks to take notice and put pressure on the government or maybe take action about this, you're going to have to shift your approach. I appreciate, I'm not denigrating the language to speak, certainly not Afrikaans. People know I'm a big fan of the language and a supporter of it, along with Tswana and Sotho. But the reality is this: if you want action, you're going to have to get action by getting the world's attention. Now, last night I listened to some absolutely ridiculous podcast to some lunatic in America denying that any of this is going on and taking things completely out of proportion. This apparently is the fastest growing podcast in America. It just shows how stupid people are and how lazy they are to bother to check facts. For instance, in this podcast, talking about Mission South Africa, the commentator was talking about Ronaldo Ghost and slandered him, lying about the circumstances of the video that he produced 15 years ago. I mean, if people are that stupid to believe that nonsense, imagine how stupid they're going to be when they see a video when it's spoken in a language that very few people around the world understand, and they'll say it was doctored or was artificial intelligence. If you want to get your message across about the horrors taking place in South Africa's rural communities to blacks, whites, coloreds, Indians in this country, you're going to have to get your message across more frequently in English and do it successfully. Now, that's, again, not a dig, just a statement of fact. I can only ingest so much Afrikaans while on the fly and traveling around and translate that. My proficiency's not outstanding. It's good, but not outstanding. And in order to get that message across, we need folks to get that information out. And there are plenty of Afrikaners who speak English very well who could help with these situations and translate these videos and these commentaries from first person and second person accounts into something that is usable in English language so it can be shared on global platforms. What is unfolding in South Africa is a tragedy of epic proportions, and the lies and distortions by shameful, disgusting, vile, white racist and white leftist liberals denying the reality is sickening. While they deny the reality of what's happening in the rural areas when it happens to white South Africans, they don't even talk about it when it happens to black South Africans or coloreds or Indians. They don't even talk about it. I'm talking about the world media. Some South African media mention it briefly and then they move on. For instance, when I was in Northwest Province in 2022 and briefed a group of commercial farmers about safety measures, I met a gentleman who was a former police officer and a farmer. Not even a week later, while I was traveling around the country in August of 2022 in South Africa, he responded to a farm attack in Northwest. They cornered the farm attackers after they'd been on the farm on a road where they couldn't get off the road. And as they moved forward, he was shot. The bullet went under the body armor, the vest, and he bled out and died in 5 minutes. What the media didn't tell you, any of the media in South Africa or any international media, which didn't even cover it, is that that man gave his life, a white farmer, to save a black commercial farmer who was attacked. Everyone's at risk here. And the media want to paint a narrative and create racial division. If you want to fix that, you've got to create media that is usable for the world. You've got a world full of leftist, hate-wanking, lying, racist, white liberals who will distort and contort everything that happens while ignoring the people suppose they care more about, because they don't care more about brown people, Indians, coloreds, or black folks. They just are self-loathing, hating of white people in any narrative and evoking things that have nothing to do with what's happening today. And that's reality here in South Africa and around the world. And that began to change on November 5th. And the struggle of ideas is on. And make no mistake, their ideas are wrong. They don't believe in the value of human life, the dignity of human life. They don't believe in freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of worship. They don't believe in unique cultures. They believe in their leftist, New World Order garbage. And they produce podcasts that are promoted by leftist, hate-wanking media outlets that soar. And it's all artificial because it's fake and it's convincing a bunch of rubes. What's happening is real. And those who deny it are shameful, barely human. Barely human. Certainly have no empathy for other Homo sapiens. What say you, South Africa, South Africa, Mzansi? What say you, world? Crazy out there, isn't it? Another farm attack, another woman critically injured. God bless.